the first one will be like new. The column need to be renamed Abhijit here. So new, in progress, and instead of done, it will be like we having completed that. So every like
Well, I'm trying to get Stu because he is also part of the process setting up. Stu, are you okay? I see the Stu is here. So, okay, let's one more time explain. Stu, can you hear us? Stu, can you hear us? Or he okay?
Yes.
I think he's not able to. Okay. Oh yeah, Stu, this is the Jira dashboard. Jira board is setting up for the projects,
Uh-huh.
but I think there's some confusion, which that's why I wanted you to see this.
Okay.
Uh, the team has created the Kanban board for separate types, like a design, content strategy, development, SEO, website. What is website?
this is the old one, Abhijit. I will remove this one. Website and digital marketing and website. These are like old one. There is
Okay, so the problem is we will, as you, me, and Ravi was talking, we wanted to have one board, right, Steve? That's what your request was, right?
Yes. I think one board for all projects, and then we can talk
One,
about what the columns are.
yeah, I just wanted to understand this. See, one board for all the projects, that's fine. But I just want to know each team, right? So in a project, you would involve the design team, involve the other development and the content strategy team, and even
Mhm.
the web update team, right? So and each of those teams will have a different way of working, right? So Andreas and team would have a different flow against the design team, right? So how we I don't know how you could capture all of that in the same Kanban board, right? So that's the reason I kind of suggested if we could have different workflows for each of those teams, and we have a master epic, we have sub stories, right? And when you go into each of those stories, you would get tasks related to those teams, right? And we could track them all in one board. For an SEO board, you could look into it. Web development board, you could look into it. So right, that was the understanding I thought, but I don't know. We can discuss more.
Yeah, I think we were thinking that the Kanban board would be a summary of all the projects, and so it would show only like the epic or the story or whatever for the big chunks of work, and then we would follow those through the process. So the first column would be like backlog, and then the second column would be assigned, and then the third column would be development, and then deployment kind of thing. So, and then within those big project categories, you would have your, stories, subtasks. We don't necessarily need to track those in Kanban. The Kanban view is really for the high level projects and just seeing like what projects are where, so we can kind of scan and see where everything stands at a high level. Does that make sense, or does that seem
Okay. So,
weird?
what would be the connecting factor there, right? So we need to set up some workflow uh, for the I don't know, Rivas, you need to help how this is set up in the back, right? So these statuses that you see in progress, done, is against a status that is there in a ticket, in a task, basically, right? So you can set that up even if you can do it for the law, the story, right? We could do that, and we could track it. That's possible.
Mhm. So for each issue type, you need a different board. Okay,
So, Gaurav, can we say one board is for projects? Everything start there, and then respective tracks get started below that project. So they
Yeah.
can have they can have their boards separately. We can track them separately, but it is linked to one project. So that project status, if it's a requirement, There's nothing is in the SEO. There's nothing in the no, in the content, nothing. Just for that. And then when it goes to development, then this all tracks are created, right?
That also could be done, right? Yeah. So Nivas,
Yeah.
we can have the story connected to requirements, right? So you can, and that is shown up on the Kanban.
Uh,
Requirements, development,
yeah, we
right?
can do
Those.
that. So the thing here, it's okay. So here I can like create a swim lane. So it will shows in a different row actually for stories, epic, and project name like that. Based upon the JQLs, we can show it. If it well
So on the
runs in
main
example.
on the main board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve, Abhijit, how do you want to show? You want to show uh okay, can you just show that status is Nivas that Abhijit that pinged,
Yeah.
right? You wanna have requirements.
This one. So new requirements, creative, deployment, testing, approval,
So
development, testing, approval,
do
deployment
so
complete.
do these need to be shown up on the on upfront there on the Kanban?
Yes, that's how we wanted to see, like how many
Yeah.
projects new means we have not touched it, how many the projects where the requirements started, where how many requirements completed and the creative work started, and then how many in the development, how many in testing. So what you guys did it, you created a Kanban for creative development, all those
Yeah.
things, right? So
Yeah.
that is a team perspective, but from overall perspective, where because this Kanban will be used with all business users, they will come and they'll say where their project is. They can start
Right.
seeing it upfront. Gaurav, that's the plan was.
Okay. So
Arjun, like the thing, if we want to go with this particular columns to be reflected in the Kanban board, then the all issue type which are in the BMCT project should have this issue. It should have
Yeah,
this
no, I
status.
got that. I got that. The problem is you guys are uh, you guys are divided it now. If the things are separately tracked, nobody will know where the one project is going. Like uh, content content will not be on its own. It will be part of the one of the project, right? The designing is cannot be on its own. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. So go back to your Kanban board. You guys have how many boards you created? They
Five
cannot
boards
be
actually.
five boards. They cannot be on their own. The work will
Mhm.
be started there. Like people will not come and start the work like content strategy. That will not do the work will be started independently, right? So there has to be project, there has to be requirement, and based on that content strategy, design, creative design, that can be possible. So this is a second level board you created, but the top level board is missing, where all projects are getting tracked, and then these are the subtasks of the project, right? Content
Right.
design. What do you think, Gaurav? I think that's
yeah.
where the disconnect is.
Yes. Yes. This is the second level of information which we'll need to capture. But the first level, yeah, we need to get that up on the board. How we're going to do this is, yeah, we have to talk about it, right, Nivas?
Yes,
How
exactly.
you
Can we like create one separate field, all those for design, SEO, website? So once the ticket was created in this particular BCMT, the user need to choose which category the ticket is belongs to, whether it belongs to development. So based on that, we can like easily track all tickets in a single board under like development, how many tickets are there. So it will shows in how many rows like that. Can we do like that instead of going with separate issue types? Are you
I
okay
think
with?
I think that should be okay because we track everything in a project, and then uh, this could be a subtask of the project. That's what we are saying, Nivash.
Okay, Abhijit, then I will do the same thing. Like I will create a field with the drop-down values of design, development, web update, SEO, and content strategy. And the user, while going to work the ticket, they can segregate this ticket belongs to this particular part like that. So based on that, the Kanban board can be like shows the status. and I will create a common workflow for all team, and the workflow will have the status, the one which you shared.
Hold on. So let's make sure every. So Steve,
Yeah.
Gaurav, you guys speak up now because we have to do this change. So
Yeah. As long as we can create that top level Kanban board that only shows the projects. So I don't want that top level view to show every single ticket and that has status of development or whatever. I don't want to see every task or subtask. I want a single project view. And so to do that, the thought was that we would just define a project as either an epic or as a story. And so then that top level Kanban view, you would go and see only that type of ticket. It's like one ticket per project, for major launch kind of thing. And then from there, you can click into that and see all the tasks and subtasks. And we don't necessarily need Kanban views for tasks and subtasks. It's really, the high level, project management view that we're looking for across all projects. So with that said, how would you
Yeah,
create
that's
or structure the ticket so that you could get that single top level view of one item, per project?
okay. Now this is different, right, from what we just discussed now. So now, if you're going to see that project, you would need to know what are the different stages those projects would be in, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we would need those to be captured. So that these what is uh, mentioned here, right? The new requirements, creative development,
Yeah.
testing, approvals, deployment completed, right? So
Yeah.
this would be the statuses within each of those probably tasks, right? But on a higher level, if you want to see what the project status is,
Uh-huh.
I think Nivas would need those specific status, right? So the project is in development, or it's in I don't know, it's in business review, or it's in a requirement stage, right? So
Yeah.
we need those captured, I guess.
I think we were thinking that those would be what you're looking at here. The project status for the overall project would be, it's either new, it's, we're gathering requirements, we're in creative, we're in development, testing, approvals, deployment completed. I think those are the steps of the major project. I mean, we could simplify that if that's too many. We could just say, backlog, in development, QA, deployment, complete kind of thing. But I think these actually, this was our intention, is that these would be the major categories for top level projects.
So when we drill down from these, so for example,
Mhm.
now it's on the requirement phase, right? So so basically the requirement is like a story, right? Am I correct or no? It's just a status.
It's
Because
a
no, so
state.
it's a
Yeah.
status. Yeah, we we
but
we
okay.
want to track it as a status. Like, okay, where is my project? It's new means nobody's touched it. It's is there for prioritization. Once
Yep.
it moved to requirements means it's been assigned. Somebody's been assigned to work with business to make sure that requirements are captured.
Yep.
Creative means it's in a design desk or what are who are like a Ken's area. They are working on it. Development means it's assigned to a small team so that they are then they have the requirements. They have the creative inputs. What are the things required, and they are developing the stuff for us.
Yeah.
And then they
So
move
when
to the
we
testing.
Okay, so when we drill down to these, it should all have an associated ticket against all of these, right?
Yes, you can
Yeah,
have it. And that's why I like the what you build it, Gaurav, like a development as a one board. So create the ticket, create the development epics, and they can start working and they can track. We can see that, and development
yeah,
can have its own statuses also internally, so that
yeah.
a small team can move their items. We can watch what is happening, where they start. Similarly,
Correct.
requirements also can have its own statuses, creative, all those things. I'm okay with that. But overall, one board is required where we
Okay,
can track, and then our business users also can see it.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think Nivas, this would be the way, right? I guess I don't know. So
Yeah, that
requirements, Requirements
Uh,
would be under content strategy, right? Because it's coming from them, right? Creative would be under design, right?